Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kyger, and up here today with another episode of To Stream or Not to Stream. Today's I'm talking about a streaming channel called Full Moon Features. Now, a lot of people probably have never heard of this. It's a very sort of on the need to know basis type of thing. Full Moon is a company. I don't know if they're a distributing company, production company. I'm not too sure. They're very popular in the US, and unfortunately here in the UK we don't actually get a lot of those releases as physical releases here in the UK. You'd have to import them, and often you're going to pay a bit more of over the top prices and things like that. So Full Moon have their own subscription service, which is available on both an Amazon Prime Video add-on or a standalone app. And I'm going to talk more about the standalone app. The price point it varies. It's weird because for some reason it's like $6.49 if you do it through Google Play. If you do it through the actual website, you can get it for £5, and I'm not sure how much the Amazon Prime version is. The price is weird for some reason on this one. So it's a weird one, and I think for a year it's around about 50 quid, give or take, or 60, I'm not too sure. So what is exactly Full Moon Features, and what does it actually have on here? Well, the app itself uses a very sort of similar app, especially and when I talk about two other apps in the future, they actually use the same format. I'm not sure if it's like an app format that people can just, like a template people can use, but it for the most part it's actually quite easy to find the stuff that you want on here. So Full Moon basically release just weird and crazy cult movies, obscure movies, low budget movies, grindhouse movies, exploitation movies, just sort of the movies that aren't gonna be for everyone, I will say. So it is a bit of a dedicated streaming service. Now, unlike Shudder, this one has a bit of variety to it. So you've got obviously the main sort of focuses of the Full Moon. Obviously you've got things like the Puppet Master series, but then you've got like standalone releases. Of course there's some TV shows on here and some podcast type things with Charles Band. There's like movies, like mini series, like movies that maybe are only like 30 minutes long but part of a mini series. There's sci-fi movies and just sort of weird and wonderful stuff on here. Of course you've got Jess Franco movies, Blue Underground, Something Weird Video, of course horror movies on here, thriller movies, movies like Evil Bong, which is just crazy, comedy movies, Moonbeam, Surrender, Mondo Full Moon, and just Andy Cesaris, and then there's some stuff on here like William Shatner, Fright Night and Haunted Hollywood, Elvira, puppet movies, Wizard Video, and then just some sort of all over stuff on here. So sort of movies that aren't going to be for everyone. One thing I will say about Full Moon Features, that actually has a fair amount of pornography movies, not like hardcore pornography, stuff you find on Pornhub or something. I'm talking about like parody movies that obviously are more pornography than they are a movie. And again, these are the sort of movies you're going to sit there and watch and go, wow, that is crazy. I mean, I watched one the other day it was actually called Miss Congeniality, also known as Genie in a String Bikini, which was literally just, I don't know if it was a parody of I Dream of Jeannie or what, but that movie literally had about 7 or 8 sex scenes in it, and I'm like, wow, it's crazy. So it has its fair share of movies on here that are going to be, they're not good movies. There are some hidden gems on here, a lot of low budget movies, bad acting, B movies. So again, if you like that sort of stuff, I think Full Moon Features has a good selection of you know, weird and wonderful movies, but also some movies that people might go, okay, I've heard of this movie, like Puppet Master, for example, Killjoy and Baby Oopsie, and all of these weird movies and stuff like that. I think it has a decent selection of movies on here, and of course there's like some mini series and behind the scenes stuff on here, and things like that. It updates fairly regularly. I'd say maybe every 2 or 3 weeks they add some new stuff on here, and there's actually some very rare movies that are on here, movies that have been found and restored. Of course, like movies like the Andy Cisaris movies, these exploitation movies from like the 80s and 70s, you know, like the sexploitation movies, you know, where it was all girls in skimpy clothing and things like that, you know, the sort of movies that, you know, you would go and watch in like the drive-through theaters and the seedy theaters in the US. And I think it's a really interesting app that actually has a decent amount of stuff on here, that if you're a film buff like myself, you're going to enjoy it, because there's always something on there that you're going to go, wow, do you know what, this is, it may not be a good movie, but at the same time, you're like, I can't believe this was made, kind of thing. These are the sort of movies that you're not going to find on Netflix, you're not going to find on Disney or anywhere else. You know, you're only really going to find them on here. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of the stuff I've noticed that is on Full Moon Features has been actually put onto Arrow Video, and I'm going to do a video on Arrow Video coming soon. But I think it's a good selection of stuff on here. Now, there are some things that I do need to mention. Sometimes the quality isn't great. Now, sometimes, especially with these rare movies, a lot of them look like they're just VHS rips. Now, again, maybe it's because these movies were only ever released on VHS, so they're ripping them straight to you know, streaming. So the quality doesn't always stand up. You know, some of them have had remasters on here as well. So I will say that about Full Moon, is sometimes they actually take the time, and if the movie's popular enough, they'll remaster it and, you know, make it look a little bit better. Sometimes add the uncut versions of these films, so sometimes there's multiple versions of the same film. Another thing that's worth mentioning is they actually don't have captions on a lot of their stuff. For some reason, I'm not too sure why. I think I watched one movie that was Italian, I believe. I can't remember the name of the movie, and that had subtitles. But every movie that I've watched on Full Moon so far doesn't have subtitles. But for some reason, it does say on the actual app that, you know, and on the website, that they do actually have captions. But if the movie don't have captions, it won't have captions. So just be aware, if you are hard of hearing, not a lot of the stuff on there has captions. But again, if it don't bother you, it's not a problem. I mean, I just turn it up a little bit. The audio and picture quality can vary, like I said, unfortunately. And the streaming is fairly decent. I don't think I've had any issues with streaming on there. You know, maybe I might get one time where it buffers, but that's it. I've not really had too many issues with it watching stuff anyway. But I think Full Moon Features is an interesting little concept, and again, it is a bit of a dedicated streaming service. It's not going to be for everyone, much like Shudder. Don't go into Full Moon Features expecting to just get loads of obscure horror. While there is a decent selection of some obscure and B-movie horrors and exploitation and grindhouse, there's also a bunch of, you know, movies that perhaps probably barely qualify as a movie. Like I said, the whole pornography movies, you know, I'm talking movies that probably would have been on like Movies for Men and Skinamax for you guys in the US, you know, those sort of movies. But at the same time, it is actually interesting to see how these movies exist. And a lot of these movies that are on Full Moon probably don't have physical releases, at least here in the UK. So, I mean, I think Full Moon Features is an interesting streaming service. Is it a Kashreem or not Kashreem? For me, it is a Kashreem, but it's kind of in the middle. It's kind of a what if. It's kind of a like to your taste, basically. If you're looking for something that is sort of out there, and you know you're gonna find movies on there that like there's movies about like killer gingerbread men and movies about like a killer bong, you know, a smoking bong. So that just goes to show exactly what just sort of lines the table for what's on offer. I think it's an interesting little app. I will say, like I said, some of the stuff is actually on Arrow, and I think Arrow is the better streaming service out of the three that I'll be talking about that have the same sort of format. But I think it's an interesting concept. I think the price point is a little bit higher than what I think it should be. When I look at Arrow Video, that's £3.87, and that actually has more stuff on it than Full Moon. I think the price point for Full Moon should be a little bit lower. I think maybe they could get away for £3.99 subscriptions, possibly £4.99. I think £6.49 is a little bit high. But at the same time, because of the movies that are on there that are probably, you know, very hard and probably take a lot of work for them to get on there, especially some of these really rare movies and some movies that never were like officially released and all of that, I'm guessing you're paying for that. But like I said, there's some interesting behind the scenes stuff and shows with like Elvira and William Shatner and Charles Band and things like that, who do like interviews with you know, famous I just seen one on there that was with John Carpenter, for example. So if you're into that sort of stuff, you know, definitely check it out. So Full Moon Features, I think it's an interesting little app. I use it every now and then. It's not like it's something I watch all the time, but I'll be honest with you, a lot of the movies on there are actually fairly short. Often some movies, it's very rare that I see a movie that's over an hour and 40 minutes long. A lot of them are like an hour and 10, hour and 19. So if you've got some time on your hands, you can probably get a few movies watched on there. So but anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video, and feel free to leave a like and comment below. Let me know, have you heard of Full Moon Features? Do you use it? As this video maybe inspired you or piqued your interest to check it out. It is available on Fire Stick, Google Play services, through Amazon Prime. I'm not sure if it has apps on PS4, Xbox, and iOS. I'm not too sure, but I know that it has one on the full official apps on the Fire Stick and stuff. So, and as always, guys, I just wanted to say that if you guys are living in the world right now, or if you are, you are. But I just want to again say condolences to the Queen. That kind of is a shock, I'm going to be honest with you. While I'm not someone that really gets involved in news and politics and all of this, I still think it's something that's pretty big, and I think it's going to impact the world over these next couple of weeks. I think we could see some potential changes coming in the future, but at the same time, I think we have to just live our life and get on as best as we can, and deal with whatever comes, you know. But again, being British, you know, it is something that was going to happen, unfortunately. And today, unfortunately, is a bit of a solemn day because it technically was my mum's birthday. So, you know, again, it living with that experience of, you know, bereavement and having to live your life at the same time, you know, but also remembering what they meant to you. So of course, you know, I'm not the only one going through these sort of things. It's something that happened to a lot of pretty much everyone in their life, unfortunately. But as always, guys, subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Like I said, tomorrow my partner's going away, so I will try and get some videos done. I'm unsure on what's happening with my friend next week, if he's coming up, because obviously of this, what's happened now. We're not too sure if it's going to impact how people can travel and stuff. We don't know. But tonight I'm going to watch the movie Candyman from 2021. I heard mixed reviews on it. I personally have never watched any Candyman film, so I have no expectations going in. I'm not expecting it to be amazing. I'm not expecting it to be terrible. Because I haven't seen the originals, I have no expectations of what to expect. I'm just going in there and looking to watch a movie. And then, of course, some more Assassin's Creed Odyssey tonight as well. And as always, guys, have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye. Oh, and before I go, I just wanted to mention, I actually did, I was talking about the Dragon Ball box sets that I was on about on eBay, and I actually won some money yesterday, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to order the original Dragon Ball complete series. I was trying to find some information on it online, and I found a couple of other websites selling it, but no information about the actual box set itself. But looking at the pictures and stuff, I think it's just going to be like like a different packaging style, but still using the official disc. So as long as the official discs and the Crunchyroll remastered, Funimation remastered discs, I'm happy with it. And then I just need to get the Dragon Ball Z one. And anyway, guys, take care.